Hello and welcome. Great to have you along here for the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Friday night basketball. It'll be Kevin Love and the Minnesota Timberwolves facing off against the Indiana Pacers. And that'll do it until we catch up again for the HP Halftime Report. Now out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew.
Yeah, how y'all feel? Cause I feel so awesome. How you feel? Awesome. I guess that's awesome. Fine, and yo, yeah, awesome. Wanna roll? Awesome. Let's go. Awesome. Yeah, hands in the skyline. AWE. Some call me awesome. Some call me visit. Call me awesome. Gator on my shirt.
It's the home of the Pacers as 2K Sports brings you today's action live from Indianapolis. Last game for the Pacers, a loss to the Celtics. You know, guys, you hate to get embarrassed on your home court, but that's exactly what happened. It was a tough loss for them.
Yeah, there weren't too many highlights for them in that one. All around, not a very good effort for that club.
Well, offensively and defensively, nothing really came together for them.
And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. Wesley Johnson and Kevin Love make up the forwards. Budinger is out there with Ricky Rubio, and it's Pekovic in at the 5, roaming the paint. And for the Pacers, Paul George and Danny Granger on the perimeter. West out there with Roy Hibbert, and it's Augustine in at the point guard position.
You know, the Timberwolves were only 10-20 against the East last season. They say the West is a dominant conference, but not when you're talking about the Timberwolves. They were a tough team.
Tip-off goes to Minnesota. Here is Rubio. Love with the screen on Augustine. Budinger against George. West with the steal. Now the Pacers with it. Cuts off the pass. Fires for 3. There's the bucket. Good. Johnson's got his team on the board to start the game for the Timberwolves. Well, for the Timberwolves, they've never managed 25 wins in the 4 seasons since they traded away Kevin Garnett. Steve, how long do you think it's going to take to rebuild this team?
Well, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be a while, Kevin, because, you know, the one building block you can say they have is Kevin Love. You know, we'll see how Ricky Rubio does. We'll see if any of these young draft picks that they picked up this year can improve this team, but seems to me they're still at least a couple of years away.
Moments ago, our Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with the coach, Frank Vogel. Doris?
Team rebounding is something he stressed to his side, and rightfully so when you face a player that gobbles up the glass like Kevin Love. He told me that Love rebounds at an unreal rate, and his side can't take any mental breaks when it comes to boxing out on the defensive end. Love's numbers validate that fear, guys.
And thank you for that, Doris.
You give him any kind of space, he's going to knock that down.
And Pekovic backs down. Granger against Johnson. Here's Budinger. Traps in the tray. Budinger's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Now here is Augustine. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Boston. Gets it to go.
They come right back with the triple.
An eye for an eye. How about a 3 for a 3, Steve? Danny Granger, Kevin, grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, and after Hurricane Katrina, as you might imagine, he did a lot to help that town and also help a lot of his family members, too.
Now George. Hibbert with it. Shot clock at 6. West against Love. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall. Going back to Danny Granger, Steve, he moved about 17 of his family members up to Indiana. Got a big house. Moved in with him.
Wow.
Goes up. Goes straight to the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line.
Uh-oh, a little bit of a statement made there while he hung on the rim.
That's one way to make sure the whole building knows exactly what you just did.
Yep, pretty brash move right there, guys.
Well, I love Paul George's game. From Palmdale, California, north of L.A., a 6'8" athletic wingman. I think he's got a chance to be a two-way star in the NBA.
Now here's Love. 17 points for him last game against the Pistons in Detroit. That's good.
Now, you can't give him any space out there.
Clark, going back to Paul George, drafted 10th by the Pacers back in 2010. They really needed another elite scorer to pair with Danny Granger. And so, Steve, they took a flyer on George.
Well, and I think what's interesting, Kevin, is that they didn't really get the scoring from him, but what they got was an excellent defender. And during that Chicago series in the first round of the playoffs, they relied on Paul George to cover Derrick Rose at times during that series, really utilizing his great length and athleticism on the defensive end.
And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. DJ Augustine picks one up. George Hill's checked in for Augustine.
Well, the Pacers historically have always been tough on their home court, and last season was no different. 24-17 in Indianapolis. It's one of the reasons the Pacers made the playoffs.
That free throw good from Rubio. Well, Clark, you know all about this Indiana team being in their front office. Dead last in attendance last season, averaging just a little over 13,000 fans. But the team gave the diehard fans something to care about with the playoff experience.
Yeah, they certainly did, and hopefully that'll catapult more fans into coming back to Conseco. In 2001, the team averaged almost 18,000 fans. If the team gets back to contention, you know Indiana loves basketball, and those fans will be back.
Indiana again missing.
I think he caught the defense off balance there. But I think he just sort of lost the touch on the release, kind of short on it.
Pacers trail by 4. Outside Hill. There's the feed to West. Covered by Rubio. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Man, what a tough break, guys, for David West. Last season was having such an outstanding year before tearing his ACL in March late in the campaign. Very tough break for him.
J.J. Barea is checked in for Ricky Rubio. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Back to that West injury. To lose what he brings to the table is a big blow to any team.
Yeah, without question. I mean, and the Hornets showed well in the playoffs, but you know they missed his scoring, his rebounding, and he's a veteran who's been in the playoffs, and he's a tough guy as well, Kevin. So those are attributes that you just can't replace.
Outside Hill. He's covered by Roy. And taken away by Roy.
A lot of hands down there on the block. That's a tough position to be in offensively.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Heads-up play, preventing the easy lay-in.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, he saw it was a free layup, didn't want to give that up, so he fouled him to force free throws. You know, for the Pacers last season, they really had a difficult time against Western Conference teams. I mean, only going 9-21 in those matchups.
We talked about the troubles, Clark, against the Western Conference. For whatever reason, Steve, they struggled to defend Western Conference opponents.
Well, I thought the biggest thing was the West was so much deeper than the East last year, Kevin. The East had some strong teams at the top, but overall a weaker field of teams. You go out West, and on a nightly basis, you're going against a really tough team. I think that's the disparity in the numbers for Indiana.
Baseline try. The shot is off, and Indiana will go the other way with it. This is their first chance to take a look at the Timberwolves this season. And,
you know, this is a team you want to capitalize on when you play them, but that wasn't the case last year. They split 2 games.
The free throw drops for Bekovic. And to touch on Steve's point real quick, I'll bet they consider that game they lost to them to be, you know, the one that got away.
And I would think there's no doubt they're going to be looking to rectify that and sweep them this time around.
Pacers trail by 7. And here is Hill. 11-point game his last outing. George dishes to West. Outside Hill. Love against West. Nice spin off the left rim and in.
Just another one of his many post moves down low.
Here is Barea. And Love backs in. Now Barea. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot two.
You know, you see Barea out there, and you can't help but think of the impact he was for the Mavs in their run to the title last spring. I mean, he was a terrific spark for the whole team.
Well, getting back to J.J. Barea, you know, he took some lumps early in the playoffs. A couple of hard fouls, one from Andrew Bynum, the flagrant foul against the Lakers. But he showed his toughness, kept getting up off the floor, kept attacking, going to the rim, and he finished that final series off against Miami in absolute style. He was fantastic. Well, the Timberwolves looking to get a win here on the road, and last season that was a major issue for them. In fact, only one team, the Wizards, had a worse record on the road.
Now here's Love. 13 feet out. Chip back in for two. Love's got 6.
You got to love his position near the hoop, anticipating the play and getting the putback.
Timeout called the Pacers. Well, for those Timberwolves, Clark, how do you think they can turn around that road record?
Well, how much time do I have, Kevin? I mean, there are a lot of things that you need to look at trying to answer that. It starts with taking care of the ball. The Timberwolves had the most turnovers of anybody in the league, and on the road, you got to really value it. I mean, that's one way you have a chance to win on the road is if you maximize possessions and don't turn it over.
Here is Hill. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Now, here is George. And West backs in. 13 feet out. Rebound, Love. Love's got his 4th rebound in this one. Defended by West. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. It's going to be on David West.
How about the season Kevin Love had a year ago? He put up numbers that we haven't seen in a long time. Had a 30-30 game, huge rebound totals, and it just continued all season long.
Going back to Kevin Love and his numbers, Clark, I mean, they were Russell-like, Chamberlain-like. I mean, they had such great volume in these categories.
Kevin, mind-boggling. I mean, you rarely see numbers in the high 20s and 30s as far as glass eating goes. I mean, and this guy doesn't really wow you with his athleticism.
No.
He's strong, he's tenacious, excellent hands and timing, but still, that number of rebounds. There's guys that couldn't get that many rebounds by themselves in practice. In the gym, by themselves couldn't get 30 rebounds, let alone in a game. Come on, man.
Now, he hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
Augustine with it. He passes it to West. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, the Timberwolves are hoping that they've found some answers at the point guard position. The veteran Luke Ridnour really played a steady role for them a year ago, but Johnny Flint, their top draft pick in 2009, missed almost 30 games and really struggled on the court.
And he knocks down the first one. Well, for the Timberwolves, the answer to their playmaking needs, a point guard, Steve and Clark, may have arrived in the form of rookie Ricky Rubio, joining the team from Spain.
Boy, it's got to be a relief, Kevin, for the Minnesota fans to see the former number 5 pick in the 2009 draft finally in uniform for the Timberwolves. Scoring is still a question mark for him, but his passing, court vision, and flair, all of that is unquestioned.
And Green gets it to go. Here is Barea. Timberwolves on offense. They're on a 16-7 run. Shoots from 12.
And Love was an all-star last season for the first time in his career, although he barely made it. He was an injury replacement after Yao Ming could not play in the game, but Love deserved it. He had a heck of a year for Minnesota.
You know, Love is playing well. He already has 9 points, and some of his offense coming at the foul line with 5 points there.
5 pretty big points, Clark.
Tyler Hansbrough checked in for the Pacers. Augustine comes in for George Hill. And here's Augustine looking for his first bucket of the game. Here's George. And a miss there on the triple. What Steve was saying about Love, it would have been a shame and a sham if he wasn't an all-star with the season he had.
Well, you can always make a case. I thought LaMarcus Aldridge deserved to be in that position.
Right there.
He was right there. And I didn't have a problem with Kevin Love. He clearly put numbers up that warranted his selection. But as is the case when you have a finite number of all-stars, there's usually going to be a guy or two left off that clearly deserve to be in. It's clear they had one thing on their mind when they came out of the gate today. Rebound.
Yeah, they've opened up the game with a pretty good margin in that area. Great sign for this club. How about the determination right there on that putback?
Here is Barea. Johnson with a screen on Hibbert. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, you have to love what Tyler Hansbrough brought to the Pacers a season ago. The progress he made coming out of North Carolina was really impressive. He's a tough player, competes hard, and his offensive efficiency is impressive.
Now we're going to get to Tyler Hansbrough that Steve was just talking about. You work with in Indiana with the Pacers. His NBA career got off to a tough start when he suffered a serious ear infection that gave him vertigo and affected his balance for quite a while. It was kind of scary, really.
It really was scary because it took a while to diagnose exactly what was going on with Tyler. And once that was cleared up, he got the treatment and had to stay away from physical activity for a long time. But he was back healthy last season. And I tell you what, you love the way this kid approaches it. Low maintenance, hard working, tenacious and wanting to get better, and really raises the level of intensity of his team in practice and in games. And I think he's going to be a really good player going forward.
The Pacers making a switch here. Augustine's checked in. Now Barea. Good on the three-point shot. Barea's got 5.
Yeah, off to a rough start. Just doesn't seem to have the rhythm with his shot.
There's a screen by Hansbrough. Now here is Augustine. Guarded closely. Pulls from the top of the key. A nice shot by George. George has got his 3rd basket of the night.
Hasn't had a whole lot of misses here in the quarter. Very sharp shooting right now. It's fun to watch.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
I think it was really exciting for this Pacers team getting into the postseason last year for the first time in 5 years, guys. I mean, the youth helped as we saw the passion come out in that Game 4 win against the Bulls. And I thought they competed very well in that series and have some promise going forward.
George Hill's checked in for the Pacers. Minnesota also making some changes. Williams, he's checked in for Love. And Luke Ridnour subbed in for J.J. Barea. Clark, I agree with you. Brought the Pacers making it into the postseason. They were the 8th seed, but really did a good job against a very talented Chicago team, Steve.
Yeah, very tough opponents. Anytime you're going up in that first round against a team like the Bulls as an 8th seed, I mean, you get to see what a team like that's made of. And I think that young Pacers squad really accounted for itself in a good way in that playoff run. We'll see if they can take advantage and really have a good season this year.
Ridnour against Hill. George against Roy. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. It's on Brandon Roy.
And guys, I'm impressed with Paul George. He was the 10th pick out of Fresno State last year, and Pacers are happy with him. He's athletic. He's got an NBA body. I think he's got a lot of potential. He could become a good player.
DJ Augustine's checked in for George Hill. Well, Clark, here's a player you know a little bit about. Paul George of the Pacers, second-year player, smooth game, nice-looking jump shot. He can slash as a lot of these guys can. Doesn't seem to be a bad defender either.
Well, I think he's got the potential to be a really outstanding player at both ends of the floor. I think he's got stardom in his future. Tremendous athlete, does things easily from an athletic standpoint. Last season, just messing around after practice, he jumped over the 7'2" Roy Hibbert for a dunk. He's got great potential.
George Hill's checked in for the Pacers. There's a minute left in the first. Back to Green. Now the dish to Hansbrough. Pulls it up. Sinks it from about 9 feet out. Hansbrough's got 6. Here's Ridnour. He's picked up by Hill. Hill against Ridnour. Back to Williams. 5 on the clock. Straight up. Got it. Good job in the low post. And the Timberwolves lead by 12.
Impressive offensive execution to this point. That's what's gotten them this lead.
Well, it's paid off on the scoreboard. The fact that they've been together and productive offensively.
Now here is Hill. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Here's George. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. And here's the fast break. Ridnour passes to Johnson. Hill with some nice D. And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play.
25. Tune in next Thursday. Kobe Bryant.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. Here's Augustine. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And so in the game for the Pacers, Mahinmi is out there with West. Then there's TJ Augustine. Then there's Danny Granger. And it's Hill in at the 2. To the paint. Puts it up. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
You know, you see Derek Williams, and he's a big, powerful, explosive guy, but he also has a nice touch out to three-point range. I think that catches a few people off guard.
Clark, you mentioned Williams' shooting touch. Steve, over 56% from deep in college.
Well, and I think that was pretty surprising to everybody involved, even the Arizona coaches, because Derek Williams had always been an inside player, but you see the touch, you see the skill set, and that's why NBA scouts were so excited about him prior to the draft last year. He's got a lot of ability, could become a very versatile offensive player. Well, the defense wasn't bad, but I think they've got to tighten up on him.
And Rubio kicks to Williams. Kicks it to Rubio. Clock at 6. Shot off the pick. Danny Granger pulls it in.
And the defense got away with a major lapse there.
Now here is Augustine. Looking for his first bucket of the game. From downtown. And again, it's the Pacers from deep.
As opposed to the first quarter, they're doing a much better job from behind the arc here in the second. They're starting to heat up a little bit, percolate from behind that three-point line, and as a result, they're chipping away at that lead.
Rubio with it. He's coming off a 10-point game against Detroit. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Over Augustine. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. Pacers trail by 9. Lifts up. And there's West. That good on the assist by Hill. Hill's got 3 assists now in this one. And here's Rubio. Looking to end the run. David West grabs the miss.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
Here's Augustine. Great D on that shot, and it's off the mark. Timberwolves leading by 7. Pull-up jumper. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. With his first shot attempt, Hill no good. Now the Timberwolves with it. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
Just seemed like one of those nights, guys. They never could get it going offensively.
Yeah, they didn't have much going at that end of the floor, and even when they got something positive to happen with their defense, it didn't carry over to the other end.
With 1 on the clock, Rubio misses. Here's Indiana. It's been 8 unanswered points for him. Here is Augustine. The tray. Shot is off.
Well, they're fortunate. The defense was taking a big chance leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
They grab their own miss. Williams gets the bucket.
Carving them up inside there, Kevin. I mean, the defense has been vulnerable in there.
Yeah, that's 3 straight field goals in the paint area. That's really good offense.
And the Pacers call time here.
Derek Williams had such a great season a year ago for the Arizona Wildcats, and when they knocked off Duke in the Sweet 16, that's when you got the feeling that Williams was going to be a special player.
The Pacers making a switch here. Hibbert's checked in. Here's Hill. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Good luck. And there's West. That good on the assist by Hill. Hill's got 4 assists now tonight. Getting back to Williams, as Steve was just talking about him, an Arizona Wildcat talking about another Arizona Wildcat. That upset really pushed him into the national spotlight, don't you think?
Oh, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I only got a chance to see him live once and was really blown away by his strength and athleticism, but he's got a nice touch. He can shoot it out to the three-point line, and it seems as though his motor is pretty good, too.
Explosive,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, I agree.
Three-pointer Augustine. No good. Now the Timberwolves will take it the other way.
A very rough quarter for him, as not much is falling right now.
Next up on the schedule, the Grizzlies. That'll be a home game. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Backing down is Hibbert. Shoots from the post, and he finishes at the rack.
Well done, finishing that one off.
Timberwolves leading by 7. Roy dishes to Petkovic. Feeds to Rubio. Johnson outside. And Love backs in. 6 on the shot clock. And the rebound goes to the Pacers.
And you got to like the defense inside, really protecting the rim.
Challenging shots and making his presence felt around the rim, that's exactly what he can give you.
And Augustine kicks to Hibbert. Covered by Rubio. The jump hook, and it's Hibbert missing. And Minnesota has possession. They lead by 7. Here's Roy, and it's good on the layup. Roy's got his second basket of the night. Here's Augustine.
You know, the Minnesota Timberwolves' struggles have been wide-ranging. Offense was definitely a big problem. They tried to push the pace to get easier shots. They were, in fact, number 1 in pace of play last season with 99 possessions a game.
Now Rubio. And Love backs in. West gets called for blocking. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. It's too bad, Clark. You bring up an interesting this pace thing, which a lot of coaches talk about. A lot of scouts zero in on. The Timberwolves first in pace last season in the league, but Steve, they were tied for 7th least in fast break points.
Well, that doesn't bode well, does it? Play fast but don't score? Man, no wonder they were so bad last year.
Roy working against Hill. Roy kicks to Rubio. Just 4 to shoot. Over Augustine. And the basket by Rubio. And it's an 11-point Timberwolves lead.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down. A nice little rebounding advantage they're enjoying here.
Yeah, and that's the reason they've got this big lead. I mean, they're dominating the glass and really being tougher than their opponent.
And again, it's Minnesota converting.
Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too. Now
here is Augustine. Hibbert with the screen. Augustine passes to Granger. Takes a three. Hansbrough dishes to Hibbert. Hit his leg. And it's being called a kickball. Here's Granger. He has 6. Hill kicks to Augustine. Granger outside. Second shot opportunity.
He just hasn't been able to build any momentum in this game. He's got to find something out there.
Another miss by Granger. Rubio with it. He's got 7. The shot. Hibbert with the block. Kicks it out to Johnson. Clock is at 3. The 3 is launched. Offensive rebound. Granger covering. And here's Rubio. Goes up again. Danny Granger pulls it in. Granger's got 3 rebounds now in this one. To end the drought, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
You know, Kevin, I thought the Pacers really showed well for themselves in that series against the Bulls in the playoffs last year, and Danny Granger was fantastic. His game was really on point.
And, Steve, for the Pacers, it had to be encouraging to see Danny Granger at his best when it mattered the most.
Yeah, he played extremely well in the playoffs, as Clark mentioned. And he's one of those guys, I think, who's so versatile. He can do so many things on the floor that he's got the ability to hurt you in a lot of different ways.
Now, here's Rubio. Guarded by Augustine. Love with the screen on Hill. Roy passes to Rubio. Love. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Roy Hibbert picks one up.
First personal foul, team's third.
The first one falls.
Well, you wonder, will the NBA ever go the route of international sports and start putting sponsors' logos on the team jerseys? That would be an enormous step, but it would also be very lucrative for the teams.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Mahimi's checked in, and it's George in for George Hill. And, you know, speaking of sponsorships on the players' jerseys, we've seen that in the WNBA and the D-League. Some people feel it's just a matter of time before we see it in the NBA.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, there's a commercialization that takes place, particularly at the pro level, that we've come to accept and consider part of the territory. I still think you want to try to balance it and do it in good taste. I mean, you think of the classic freeze frame of Jordan dunking with the fast food logo center frame on his jersey. I mean, that might be pushing it a tad too far.
Here is Rubio. 7 points in the game. And Love backs in. Shoots a fader. That's good. Love's got 4 points now in the quarter.
That's 5 straight hoops in the paint. What a fantastic job of attacking the rim.
Well, Steve, they're getting the looks that they want down there, so might as well keep going right at the rim. If there's no resistance, then make them pay.
With this stoppage in play, we have a chance now to show you which teams led the league in three-point percentage last year. 5th, the Timberwolves.
I guess time will tell if they can repeat that level of success from a year ago when they were one of the best long-distance shooting teams in the league.
Outside Roy. Wallace with the screen on George. 6 to shoot. Here's Roy. Another miss by Roy. Pacers trail by 15.
2 minutes.
Granger backing him down. This one for 3. The basket is good. The assist from Augustine. Augustine's got 3 assists now in this one. Outside Roy. And Love backs in. Here is Rubio. Leans inside. Nice fake there to create the shot, but it's no good. George dishes to Augustine. Puts up a three. And unable to corral the miss, and it goes on a play. And a chance now to check out the schedule for Indiana. They're off to battle the Clippers after this game, as they'll be playing at the Staples Center. And that one will start off a 3-game road trip for the team. We've got 1:18 left to play in the first half. Now Rubio. He's got 7. Back to Love. He's against Hansbrough. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Boy, that takes a lot of strength to finish a play like that while you're getting fouled.
Boy, and he had it on display right there, partner. I mean, that was muscle. That was strength on display finishing that shot.
And that one falls for Love.
I think he simply needs to get back to doing what he was doing there in the first quarter.
Three-pointer, Granger. Another miss by Granger. Timberwolves leading by 15. Releases from 15. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. Hansbrough's got 3 rebounds now in this one. After this one, they take on the Clippers at the Staples Center. It's game 1 of a 3-game road trip. No luck, they battled on the glass, but couldn't knock it down. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Steps back and fires. Drained for 2 points. Buddinger's got 5 now. And Augustine kicks to Granger. He dishes it to George. Over Budinger. The shot by George, no good. And here's Barea. 17-point game. Off target at the rim.
Tell you what, credit the defense there. They really contested that layup.
A dominating first half of basketball, and so far it hasn't been close. Don't go away. Back in just a moment.
It's the HP Halftime Show. We got a lopsided game in Indianapolis. I'm Damon Bruce. Let's get to it. Already some highlights from these two on the night. They're both leading their teams in scoring. And that'll end things for us here in the studio. We'll see you next time.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Here's Augustine. On the court for Minnesota. Wesley Johnson and Kevin Love make up the forwards. Ricky Rubio is out there at Budinger. And it's Pekovic in at the 5. Granger passes to West. And stolen by Love.
You can't get too loose with the ball down on the low post. Too easy to steal it.
And a moment now to check out who Minnesota has coming up. Next up on the schedule, the Grizzlies. Then it'll be a home game. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Here's Augustine. He kicks it to Hibbert. Backing in. The pass to George. From past the arc. Minnesota with the rebound. Rubio's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Budinger dishes to Rubio. Dishes to Pekovic. West is there. West gets the whistle for blocking. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
That's his 4th, so he's going to have to be very careful the way he plays and pick his spots here in the second half.
And a change here for the Pacers. Pendergraph is checked in. Here is Rubio. Guarded by Augustine. Rubio working against Augustine. Just 5 to shoot. And Budinger kicks to Johnson. Over Granger. Johnson's shot is off. Pacers trail by 17. Now here is Augustine. Granger outside, and it's Johnson picking him up. Granger against Budinger. Granger misses.
Tell you what, guys, his size really comes into play when there's a rebound battle going on. He's got an advantage in there.
Rubio, the pass to Love. Over Pendergraph. Love can't hit.
You know, guys, people talk about jumping ability, but positioning so important. And you can out-rebound much bigger guys when you get inside position. Looking at the game for George, 9 points, and he's been able to hit the 3-ball, picking up 1 from deep so far.
Well, the three-point shot has become so important in today's NBA game, and teams are shooting more and more of them. When you can knock them down, it really puts pressure on that defense.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Rubio with it. 7 points in the game. And there's Love. That's good on the assist by Rubio. Rubio's got 5 assists tonight.
You know, he's given them a nice scoring option through most of this game.
They set the pick. Backing down is Hibbert. The jump hook. He bounces it in off the front of the iron. Hibbert's got his second basket.
You know, Roy Hibbert was taken 17th by the Pacers back in 2008. Granger was the 17th pick in 2005. Both have proven to be good acquisitions for Indiana.
Here's Love. Makes it off the glass. Love's got 5 points in the quarter. Here is Augustine. Back to Hibbert. Clark, a 7-2 pivot. He's got soft hands, rebounds, can score inside, and has a nice hook shot. And Steve, you even were telling me before the game he can even step back for a jumper that you would respect.
Yeah, he can knock it down from long range, Kevin. And he's an underrated passer, too. The Pacers really ran a lot of offense through him. So this is a young kid who's really developing into a solid center in this league.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Roy's checked in. Here's Augustine. Granger for the 3. The basket is good. The assist from Augustine. Augustine's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Now, here's Rubio. He's covered closely. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Rubio's got 9.
They can't seem to stop anybody inside.
They got to know that if they don't make life tougher in the paint, the opponent is just going to keep going there. I mean, it's not like they'll get tired of all these in-close opportunities.
Another miss by Granger.
And that rebound pushes their margin to +5 on the boards. Solid job on the glass.
Well, it's just part of what they've done here to build this big lead, and it shouldn't be overlooked. I mean, rebounding is a huge part of this game.
Backing down is Hibbert. Shot left block. Banks that one in. Hibbert's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Here is Rubio. 9 points in the game so far. Back to Love. Lets it go with a 3. Can't get it to go. And Indiana will go the other way with it. And here's Augustine. Passes to George. Jacks up a 3. And good. Coming in on the assist by DJ Augustine.
Well, another uncontested 3 there. They've got to make some kind of an adjustment. I mean, they're giving up way too many open 3s.
Well, the last 5 hoops, 3 have come off wide open 3-pointers, Clark. So it's one thing to give up 1, but you start giving 3-pointers up in bunches, you're in big trouble.
Clock at 6. From 11 feet away. Pekovic, no luck. Pacers trail by 15. Over Love. Augustine, that's good. Augustine's got 5 points so far.
Terrific shot there. He had a taller defender on him, but he created just enough space to get the jumper up inside.
George against Roy. He feeds it to Rubio. Back to Roy. Over George. And there's Roy. That's good on the assist by Rubio. 6 points for Brandon Roy. Here is Augustine. He has 5. On the wing, Granger. Budinger defending. Indiana needs to get a shot off. The 3. And that's collected by Love. Love's got 13 rebounds in the game. Class eating. Budinger dishes to Roy. Over Granger. Again, Roy missing.
This just has not been his day so far.
Over Love. Granger misses.
You gotta like the defense not quitting on the play and getting a hand in the face.
Sure do. With a tough defender breathing down your neck, that makes it not an easy shot.
And Budinger kicks to Love. Takes it up. And again, Brandon Roy. Roy's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Boy, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside, in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket.
George. And the Pacers can't get it to go. Timberwolves leading by 17. Now Rubio. 9 points in the game so far. They set the pick. And Pekovic backs down. Here's Love. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
First personal foul, team second.
First one falls for him. Both teams deciding to change it up.
Taking 2 shots.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Here's Hill, looking for his first bucket of the game. Covered by Rubio. Outside Hill. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to George. Over Roy. And the Pacers can't get it to go. It's been all Timberwolves. Here's Love.
Defensive foul. Roy Hibbert. That's his second personal foul. Shooting for Minnesota. Kevin Love.
And that one falls for Love. He hits both from the stripe.
Yet to miss a free throw here in the second half, guys.
And you love that efficiency from the foul line, Steve. Really can help you maintain a lead and win a game.
Now here's Hansbrough. He has 6. Green left side. Will it go? Rebound Love.
And that's the way it's been. A big margin for them in the rebounding category.
You know, sometimes you got to get down and dirty and do the dirty work. And in this one, they've done it, and it's paid off on the scoreboard in a big way.
Here's Pekovic. For 3. Love can't hit.
Boy, I'm shocked he didn't make that one. He usually knocks that one down with ease.
Here's Hill. It's blocked. Minnesota with the ball. Good momentum, 8 straight points. And Rubio kicks to Roy. Now Green defending. Roy against Green. Green against Roy. Williams gets whistled for a loose ball foul. That's his first foul.
First personal foul, team second.
Pacers trail by 21.
And Brandon Roy has such a great handle on the ball for a guy his size. Very shifty, but he's always got the ball under control. And he finds a way to stay low and get past his man, and then the ability to pull up and knock down that shot.
Hibbert with a screen on Williams. Green against Williams. Shot on the wing. Good on the shot. Green's got his second bucket of the game to go. You talked about Roy's ability to stay low, and really a big part of why he's able to get in the middle of defenses so easily is because of that attribute.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite guys to watch because he is so efficient with his movement. Not super athletic, but athletic enough, poised, and really under control. Excellent at going both ways, tremendous balance. I mean, he has the ingredients you need to be effective in the half court because he's so skilled and so poised.
And it's Indiana's ball, trailing by 19. He gathers. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. That one on Love.
It looked like he hit him on the release of that shot, so good call by the official.
Very easy one there. It sends him to the line for a pair of free throws.
Danny Granger is checked in for Green. The Timberwolves also changing it up. Wallace comes in for Pekovic, and it's Budinger in for Kevin Love. Rubio with it. He's got 9. From 18 feet away, and Derek Williams the basket on the assist by Rubio. Rubio's got his 8th assist in the game. The feed now to Granger. Gathers, and he banks in the layup. Granger's got 5 points now in the quarter. Here is Rubio. There's 1:26 left in the third quarter. Outside Roy. He's picked up by Hill. Outside Roy. Shot clock at 6. And here's Rubio. Misses the 3. Budinger against Hill from 11 feet away. And it's Hibbert missing. Timberwolves leading by 18. Now Rubio.
Defensive foul. George Hill. That's his 3rd personal foul.
First free throw is good.
2 shots.
And he makes both free throws. Here's Hill. Still looking to get on the scoreboard.
Bring it, Hill!
Three-pointer, Granger. Another miss by Granger. This has been a one-sided affair.
Man, they've done a really nice job of extending their lead, Kevin.
Wallace the pass to Rubio. He's picked up by Hill. Clock at 6. Budinger against Hibbert. Budinger, good. Budinger's got 7 points in the game. 8 seconds left to play in the third. Great ball movement. Granger from outside. Hits it!
And he barely beats the clock with that 3.
Steve, that's a great way to end the quarter.
Well, through 3 quarters.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Here is Barea. We've got West. Johnson is out there with DJ Augustine. And there's Ian Mahimi. And it's Granger in at the 3 spot. That's the Pacers 5. A nice shot by Barea.
It's been the story of the game for him. Fortunately, his teammates have bailed him out.
Here comes Augustine. He passes to Mahimi. And West backs in. Now here is Augustine. 6 to shoot. Granger for the 3. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
His second person. First shooter. David West.
That free throw missing. NBA legend Rick Barry wrote that he thinks the players today are much better ball handlers than in his era. Would you agree, Clark?
Yeah, I certainly would. I mean, you think about it, players nowadays idolize the Magics and the Iversons of the world, and they have a lot more good ball handlers to look at and pattern themselves after.
Here is Barea. The dish to Budinger. The three ball. They get the rebound. Williams dishes to Love. Tries again. He lays it in with a soft touch. Love's got 13 points in the second half.
Anytime they've needed a hoop, he's taken over one shot after another. Boy, is he playing well.
And West backs in. Sinks it on the run. In what ways do you think the players of Barry's era were better?
You know what? It's interesting. I think players in the era of Rick Barry understood how to play more, without the ball especially. Guys now are so locked into having the ball that they're not as effective without it.
Outside Williams. Over Granger. Williams can't get it to go.
He had a defender draped all over him. Not really the best shot there.
Well, not the shot you hope for when it's well contested like that.
Here is Budinger. Kicks it to Barea. Love right side. From the arc. And yes, sir, that one drops. Love's got 35.
Great second half. I mean, he came out of that locker room ready to play.
And Augustine kicks it to West. Over Love. And David West again.
No question about it, guys. He's been one of their best performers today.
Here is Barea.
Well, one of the things I think the NBA has been very progressive with is the use of instant replay. And they've expanded its use the last couple of seasons. And I think it's a good thing, as long as it doesn't slow the game down too much.
5 to shoot. With the clock winding down, and no mistakes on the layup. Barea's got 5 points now this quarter. And Indiana has possession. You talk about the increasing use of instant replay, over 10 different triggers for it. Most at the end of quarters or in the last 2 minutes of regulation.
Yeah, you know, I don't think players mind waiting a minute or two. I mean, the officials do a good job of getting to the right result. And when it comes down to those...
Replay here. Sprite Slam Cam showing it once more.
Well, he's got enough hang time there to put a little something extra on that one. 2 scoops of ice cream after that.
Well, that's a play that's going to be remembered from this game, that's for sure.
I think that was more like a banana split, Clark.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Wallace is checked in. He can't complete the three-point play.
For the Pacers, they have really struggled against Williams.
He has 11 points, and he's getting it done on the glass, too.
Now, you're right, Clark. He's done some really nice work inside.
Augustine, no luck.
This is a nice lead they've built. Very good job controlling the glass this game.
You've got to be pleased as a coach to see how your team has boxed out. Very fundamentally sound basketball.
Riddenauer's shot is off.
And they forced the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
Augustine with it. Backing down is Green. Drills the baseline jumper.
He doesn't need to fade away on that move. He can go straight up, make it an easier shot.
Timberwolves leading by 22. And here is Riddenauer. Now Barea. Feeds to Wallace. 6 on the shot clock. Up top Barea. Over Augustine. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Guys, this offense very effective.
Going right at him.
And this is where you just start picking apart the defense, and now you take their confidence away. You can really take control of this game. Now, remember, he did make a three-pointer in the first half, so we'll see if he can find the range here in the second.
Well, we've talked about how new technology and modern thinking is affecting the game. One thing I've started to see at arenas, guys, is these new systems that use 3 cameras to triangulate players' position on the court. I mean, they can start to measure things like how well shots are contested. It's pretty interesting stuff, guys.
Got just enough of them on the way up to draw that whistle.
I thought that was a good call, Steve. I mean, you could see how that affected his shot just a little bit.
Free throw, good, Wallace. Clark, going back to that new camera technology, which I found fascinating. You know, they shared some of their findings. For instance, tight defense within 3 feet of the shooter, on average, drops shooting percentage by 12%. Steve, that's kind of an amazing number and an amazing way of thinking about that.
Well, it's a nice way to be able to quantify it. Coaches for years have preached, challenging shots. They knew that it bothered shooters, but it's nice for them to actually have stats to show their teams, to say that, look, when you do this, this is how much our defense improves.
Look at the turnover situation, guys, and it's not been that bad, just a handful, and when you take care of the ball like that, that can help you build a lead.
As soon as they force that turnover, they really attack the rim. I like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought that was the highlight of the sequence.
Here is Barea. Number 6, guarded by Green. Kept alive. Wallace. Hibbert with the block. Pacers trail by 21. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
When you look at cable and video games, the internet now with smartphones as well, it's pretty amazing how much more accessible the game is to fans than it was back when I played in the days of hot pants.
Going back to the all-digital distribution of the game, Steve, the NBA deserves credit for really staying on the cutting edge.
Yeah, for sure. And, you can see games now in 3D. You can see it on your phones. You can see games on the internet. It's just amazing to think about the innovations in technology that have taken place in the last decade and how they have affected our game.
And the basket by Rubio.
He's just filling the stat sheet. I mean, what hasn't he done out there today?
Well, Steve, you know what we call a guy who fills the stat sheet, don't you? He is a stat sheet stuffer supreme.
Now here is Augustine. Picked by West. Shoots over Rubio, and the Pacers can't get it to go.
They're really hurting with his performance here. He just hasn't played up to his standards so far.
George against Ridnour. He dishes it to Rubio. Augustine grabs the board. Pacers trail by 21. Back to West. Guarded by Barea. With the shot. No problem on the jumper in close. West has got 7 points here in this quarter.
Probably time to bring an extra defender, change up the defense a little bit.
Well, Steve, he's been so good. I think they got to take the ball out of his hands right now.
Rubio with it. He kicks it to Barea. Beyond the arc. That is good.
I think they're trying to go for the kill here. I mean, they're starting to take a lot more three-point shots than they had been before, looking to run away.
Yeah, and that's fine as long as you're making them, but make sure you don't start launching bad shots. That's a problem.
You could see it in his eyes. It became mano-mano. He wanted to return the favor with that three, but just didn't get it to go.
Pekovic. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Roy Hibbert picks one up.
It's interesting, guys, when you look at the players who participated in the World Championships back in 2010, a lot of them carried that momentum over into last season with their respective teams. Guys like Kevin Love, Lamar Odom, Rudy Gay, Chandler, Westbrook, they all helped Team USA win, and then they really moved forward and had great seasons a year ago.
Danny Granger, he's checked in for Indiana. And when you talk about players participating in international competition, coming back to the NBA with renewed vigor, Clark, why do you think that is?
Well, Kevin, I think anytime you have a chance to practice and play against the best players in the world, that's inspirational. I mean, that stirs your competitive juices. It shows you what it takes to be really good. I think the only downside is that playing so much basketball can take its toll on your body, so you have to balance it out. But if you do that, take care of your body, make sure you get your rest, find time away from the game when you can, and I think you really benefit from that kind of experience.
Pacers trail by 21. Augustine from outside.
Not a bad look for him on that shot, but it just doesn't seem to be his night tonight.
Barea, the pass to Williams. And he makes good on the layup.
This is not what they wanted to let happen. They're just getting pounded inside.
Yeah, they are, Steven. I mean, they're just not making life difficult at all for scorers in the paint. I mean, that's an area that you've got to protect with force and aggressiveness. And we haven't seen it.
Ben Wallace, he's checked in for Minnesota. Here's Granger. And here's Augustine. Granger outside. Clock at 6. He's picked up by Lee. From the wing. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Wallace has got his 4th rebound in this one.
And this is why they have the big lead. The rebounding has been dominant.
You know, guys, the +8 rebounding, I don't think it tells the whole story. I mean, they've been the more physical team from the outset. That's been the difference, their physicality.
It's tipped. West with the steal.
He had a really good first half, guys, but since that time, he's struggling to take care of the ball. Boy, it's been a bad quarter for him shooting the ball.
The game is not coming to him right now. No flow or rhythm at all.
And that one's good.
Looks like this one's over. They really played well tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we can take it out of the oven. This game is cooked.
Now here is Augustine. Guarded by Barea. Augustine dishes to Granger. Now here is Augustine. He's tightly guarded. West. The basket is good. The assist from Augustine.
Look at that dime. On time and on target.
1:31 left to play in the final quarter. Now Barea. Williams. Fended by West. Here is Barea. Back to Williams. Shot clock at 6. From 11 feet away. The second chance effort. The inside. Defended by George. Barea kicks to Lee. Goes back up. Defended by George. George gets called for the reach. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's just a flat frustration foul right there.
Boy, down like they are, he just took it out on his opponent. I mean, you've got to keep your composure. I don't think that was one of his best moments.
Here's Williams. Hibbert pulls it in.
Well, that's definitely a good look. I mean, the defense can't be that relaxed. I mean, they got there and expect him to miss consistently from there. He's too good.
Well, he's just launching from the three-point line right now, because I don't like his shot selection at all.
Barea with it. Lee left side. Backing down is Wallace. Releases. Oh, no good.
And you got to like the defense inside, really protecting the rim.
Challenging shots and making his presence felt around the rim, that's exactly what he can give you.
Here is Ridenour. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play, they showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
Well, that'll do it. For Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Kevin Love.